Hey everybody, sitting here in my old house. We talked some about photography today. I've got a collection of cameras. I'm kind of a photographer myself. Been doing it for I guess 25 years and teaching for close to 10 anyway. Um, this is what's called a twin lens reflex camera. So it's got two lenses, and the way that works is this little mirror pops up so you can look down into it. And when you look into it, what you're seeing is the world through this lens, and the one that actually takes the photograph is this one down here. So some of the controls that we talked about today were aperture and shutter speed, and I could set the aperture and shutter speed of this lens right here. So this is where my controls are. This is my aperture setting, and then my shutter speed is on this dial right here that I can change. So if it was like a really dark situation, I could use a really slow shutter speed, like 1 second. And in conjunction with that, I might use a really wide open aperture, like that one. And so when I activate the shutter, let's see, it's cocked, and there's a button here somewhere that will shut it off. Been a while since I used this one, I guess. Aha. So let's see what happens, and probably what we'll get is a wide open lens for a long exposure, which is about a second. There we go. Now if we were outside shooting in the bright sunlight, we'd do just the opposite. We would use a really fast shutter speed and a small aperture, like so. Let's watch the bottom lens again. That happened so fast we couldn't even see it. If we go back and slow the shutter down, I can show you how small that opening was when it opened up, like so. See that little tiny opening? Good for making photographs in the bright sunlight. Cool. Twin lens reflex. These are pretty neat. So you look down into it and focus it to take the image. Looks a lot different than many cameras that are out today, especially cameras like this one that are inside the cell phone. But you know, the one in the cell phone, as I mentioned before, works on the same principles. It's still got an aperture that'll be big or small, and it has a shutter speed that'll be fast or slow. Instead of film, of course, it has a digital sensor. Anyway, on Monday we'll talk some about film, not just as photography, but moving pictures, including animation and cinematography, which is the artistic use of motion cameras. Have a great weekend, and be safe and be happy, and I'll see you then. Take some pictures.